Ripple's CEO, Bart Gerlinghaus, has made a bold statement, claiming that XRP's market valuation could skyrocket beyond $650 trillion, and that it has the potential to outpace Bitcoin in price. This is a major revelation, especially now that Bitcoin has surged past the $121,000 mark. According to Gerlinghaus, who not only leads Ripple but is also credited as the original creator of XRP, that $121,000 milestone is something XRP is destined to reach. What's even more mind-blowing is that Gerlinghaus has been subtly dropping hints for months. Back on April 27, 2025, he subtly confirmed the idea that XRP is heading toward Bitcoin's price zone, suggesting XRP is positioned to become the next Bitcoin in terms of market dominance. Adding to the hype, a top Ripple executive involved in the company's CBDC payment integration division also stated that XRP is set to surpass Bitcoin. On top of that, Forbes has weighed in, publishing a piece predicting that XRP could soar to an astonishing $59,789 per coin. Actually, this isn't the first time Forbes has made such a prediction. In fact, it's the second time they've forecasted XRP hitting the $60,000 mark. Just take a look at this article, where they double down on that bold projection once again. Actually, this isn't the first time Forbes has made such a prediction. In fact, it's the second time they've forecasted XRP hitting the $60,000 mark. Just take a look at this article, where they double down on that bold projection once again. I mean, Bart Gerlinghaus himself has said that XRP is expected to reach at least $10,000, bare minimum. And guess what? He's not the only one. There's someone else who also confidently claimed XRP will hit that $10,000 milestone. You know who I'm talking about? Well, the other co-founder of Ripple and one of the original minds behind XRP, Arthur Brutu, has also backed this vision. He's gone on record saying that XRP has the potential to hit $10,000, especially when you factor in global scalability. And that's the magic number we're all watching closely. $10,000 per XRP. It's not a question of if, but when. And we believe that moment could be just months away. We're about to. So let's dive straight into it. Because the facts do line up. All signs point to the very real possibility that within the next couple of months, maybe even just 2 or 3, we could witness XRP making that explosive move toward $10,000. A 10,000 XRP isn't just a dream anymore, it's becoming a real possibility. And to celebrate, we've teamed up with Apple to give every single viewer of this video some completely free XRP. Yep, you heard that right. Free money. Imagine spending just 5 minutes of your time and potentially walking away with tens of thousands of dollars down the road. It's almost unheard of. Except it's happening right now. If you want in, just check the link in the description. Sign up through Apple, complete a quick transaction, and you could score up to $100 in free credit, which you can use to buy XRP. And if XRP hits $10,000, well, you can do the math. So don't wait. Hit that link, grab your bonus, and now, let's jump straight into today's video. Now, circling back to where we kicked things off, the idea of XRP overtaking Bitcoin, a concept even confirmed by Ripple's own CEO. But here's the thing, guys. When you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, what's really happening behind the scenes? It's not just Ripple's CEO backing this up. Far from it. We're seeing a growing wave of support from top-level executives, key industry leaders, and even high-ranking officials who are all echoing the same sentiment. They're pointing to this exact scenario: XRP rising to levels we've never seen before. And let's not forget, both XRP founders have publicly acknowledged that the bare minimum value they see for XRP is around $10,000 per coin. That's not speculation. That's straight from the visionaries who created it. Now take a look at this, because this is the real reason we're seeing trillions of dollars getting funneled into the XRP Ledger, driving projections of $10,000, $20,000, $60,000, even as high as $120,000 per XRP. And the wild part? It's all set to begin in just a matter of days. It all comes down to RealFi. They've just made it official. RealToken, a new asset built on the XRP Ledger, is poised to tap into a multi-trillion-dollar global market. And it kicks off July 21st. Yep, mark your calendars. RealFi is gearing up to reveal a massive announcement that could reshape global investing, with RealToken at the center of it all. Even more breaking news. Just hours ago, RealFi confirmed we're down to the final 72 hours. RealToken is about to bridge trillions of dollars in global real estate straight to the XRP Ledger. It's all going live on July 21st at 11:59 p.m. And here's where things get truly mind-blowing. With just a $1,000 position in RealToken, you could realistically be looking at $1 million return. That's the scale we're talking about, the kind of generational wealth flowing into the XRP ecosystem for those who've done their homework and positioned themselves early. Because in 72 hours, everything changes. The craziest part? RealToken, which is about to see $650 trillion in value pumped into it, is currently trading at just around $0.03. That's insanely low. Dirt cheap, honestly. We're talking about one of the most undervalued entry points in history. You're looking at prices that may never come back again. To put it in perspective, when RealToken first launched, it absolutely exploded, doing a jaw-dropping 200,000 times. It started at just 1/100th of a cent, shot up to 2 cents, and now it's sitting at 3 cents. Now, here's where the math gets insane. RealToken's Phase 1 supply is capped at just 100 million tokens. That's it. So let this sink in. Even if less than 1% of the projected $650 trillion flows in, we're looking at a price of $65,000 per token. That's based on just a tiny fraction of that capital being injected. And remember, we're currently sitting at around $0.03. That's a mind-blowing leap. With such an ultra-low supply, a move like this could happen instantly. No build-up, no warning. The supply is so unbelievably limited, it's actually more likely than not that we'll see a massive explosion in price. And it's all lining up to happen very, very soon. Remember when Bitcoin was just $1? Back then, the idea of it hitting $100,000 sounded completely insane. Yet here we are today, Bitcoin sitting at $120,000. And now, we're seeing something eerily similar happening with RealFi. RealFi, the powerhouse behind the RealToken, looks like it's working in collaboration with Ripple. And if that's true, then we're talking about another potential Bitcoin-level opportunity, but this time on the XRP Ledger. There's been a lot of buzz and speculation lately, and honestly, it's starting to look less like a rumor and more like a strategic partnership in the making. Back on May 28th, RealFi publicly stated that they were gearing up to unlock the $600 trillion global real estate market. Then, just 2 days later, on June 2nd, Ripple posted something nearly identical, talking about tapping into the exact same $600 trillion market. That's not just a coincidence. When two major players start talking about the same astronomical number within days of each other, you've got to wonder what's going on behind the scenes. And it gets even more interesting, because there are circulating images that allegedly show RealFi's team meeting with Ripple's team a couple of years ago. The topic? You guessed it, RealToken. Now, of course, we're not financial advisors. None of this is financial advice. Ultimately, it's up to the investors to decide. But let's be real here. This setup is insanely bullish. There's serious money to be made with RealToken. This isn't just hype. There's a massive opportunity here, and it's why I'm personally loading up my bags. I'm stacking a solid position because the price action is showing strong support and barely any resistance. And let's be honest, with how undervalued it is right now, even a small position, say $1,000, could realistically skyrocket into the tens or even hundreds of thousands. That's the kind of upside we're talking about. This is exactly why I'm accumulating right now. I'm not waiting. I'm locking in a juicy stack because if this thing pulls a 200x, 300x or more, I want to be positioned to ride that wave all the way up. Honestly, a 200,000 times move isn't even far-fetched when you consider the scale RealToken is tapping into. Just look at what XRP has done in the past. That's the kind of explosive potential we're staring at, and I'm not missing it. Now just imagine the kind of pump RealToken is about to experience. Yeah, you can probably tell by now, I'm extremely bullish on this project. And here's why. RealToken is backed by major players. We're talking about RealFi, possibly Ripple, again, just my personal opinion, not financial advice, but the connections are hard to ignore. One thing that is a fact, RealToken is built directly on the XRP Ledger, which adds even more credibility. And it's not just that. It's backed by a whole network of platforms and initiatives that are pushing real estate tokenization to a completely new level. RealToken isn't just a token. It's a game changer. It's revolutionizing the XRP Ledger itself and opening the doors to $650 trillion in global capital flowing into RealFi and the XRPL. That's why I strongly recommend you do your own research and check this out. You can head over to RealFi.com, click on the RealToken tab, and see exactly where and how you can buy it. It's available on multiple platforms, and you can even purchase directly using a card through their widget. Personally, I've been dollar-cost averaging and steadily accumulating. I took advantage of the latest dip and grabbed myself a solid bag. I mean, just look at the chart. Support is rock solid, and there's practically zero resistance. At around $0.0086, this is about as cheap as it gets. In my opinion, prices like this won't last. As we move closer to July 21st, I believe this thing is going to absolutely explode. And I know I'm not the only one loading up right now, because once that announcement drops, it's game on. And again, the fundamentals are crystal clear. Forbes is projecting XRP to reach $60,000, and if that's the case, just imagine where RealToken could go. We're talking millions per token, potentially. Especially when you consider the momentum building behind the XRP Ledger, we're going to see a wave of new organizations joining in. And with that, massive capital inflows. Right now, XRP is already ranked number 3 in the global crypto market. But it's inching closer and closer to overtaking Ethereum, and eventually even Bitcoin. The writing is on the wall, so with that being said, I'm wrapping up today's video. If you found this valuable or exciting, do me a favor. Smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss a major update. And remember, there's still time to grab free XRP. Just use the link in the description. Sign up, complete a quick transaction, and you'll get up to $100 in free credit, which you can instantly use to buy XRP. It's basically free money. We're also doing regular giveaways, so be sure to stay active, like, share, subscribe, and comment below. And if you're on Twitter, X, give me a follow, share the video, and stay tuned for updates over there too. All right, that's it for today. I appreciate you all. Make sure to lock in your positions, do your research, and keep watching the charts. See you in the next one, and peace out.